Hey guys, what's up? This is Coach Mike with Elite Performance. I just finished shooting the video about how to supercharge your workout. And I'm in the other room and I'm editing out the video and making a thumbnail for it and so on and so forth. And something comes across my social media and it's like, you know what? Enough is enough. I have to address this because trainers do it. It would be bad enough if just random people are doing it, but the people who you go to for help about health and fitness, they do it. So it makes it that much worse because these are the people who supposed to be setting the examples, and I have to address this. All right, these training masks that people wear. All right, it is the stupidest thing on earth, and I'm about to explain why. And if anybody would take 30 seconds to read and instead of just reading the package and looking at what the manufacturer says, you will see how insanely stupid and dangerous these masks are. All right, the training masks are supposed to simulate what's called altitude training. Altitude training is where you train at sea level, you live in the mountains. Because living at a higher altitude, all right, first, air is composed of a lot of different things. There's oxygen, there's nitrogen, there's more than just, oxygen in air. There's a lot of things in air. There's helium and so on and so forth. And the higher up you go, the concentration of oxygen gets lower and lower and lower, right? And living at these high altitudes, like in Denver, Colorado, or Mexico City or something like that, it changes, keep it simple, it makes your body more efficient, it makes your blood better. All right, it's an endurance thing. It makes your blood, how your body transports blood and oxygen and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. It makes it all better. All right. Now, the concept is to train at sea level where you can breathe and live high. All right. So you get the benefits of the altitude training without trying to train up there because it's extremely difficult if you don't do it, if you don't live up there. That's why a lot of combat sport fighters go to like California and Big Bear and train in the mountains and run in the mountains and so on and so forth. But even with that, they're kind of getting it backwards because you're supposed to train at sea level and live high. All right, you're not supposed to train up there. It's too hard. All right. Now, they do have things called altitude tents. All right, and an altitude tent at its cheapest, it's going to cost you about $11,000. And what you would do is you can buy one of these altitude tents if you're training. And again, you train low. You train at sea level where you have enough oxygen to train without risking the fact of killing yourself because you're not used to being up in the mountains doing all this work at this high altitude. You train down here, you sleep in the tent. All right? Cheapest one you're going to find is about $11,000. Now, let's move to these ridiculously stupid training masks that cost about $80. Let's first use common sense. Does the technology exist in that $80 mask that exists in this $11,000 tent? No, that's first, right? Number two, you essentially have a paper bag over your face. When you inhale oxygen and you exhale carbon monoxide, a poisonous gas, into a mask that is over your face like this, you are killing yourself. Number three, the whole purpose of altitude training is to train low, live high. So if there's any argument to be made for the ridiculousness and the stupidity of putting a mask over your face in exercises, it's like, yo, you're supposed to sleep with that thing on. If the training mask is to serve any purpose, you're supposed to sleep with it on, which I wouldn't recommend you doing that either. The most effective thing you can do with that training mask is return it to the store and get your money back. It does nothing. Nothing. It's an $80 mask that's meant to mimic an $11,000 tent. The technology does not exist in this mask. You're putting a paper bag over your head, essentially, and poisoning yourself. And it's the stupidest thing anybody in the world can do. And as a trainer, it really upsets me when trainers do that, because it's like you don't care enough about your craft or your clients' health to do some research, to read and find out. It's like follow the leader. He saw him with it, so he went and bought it. He saw him with it, so he went and bought it, and it's just utterly stupid. All right? If your trainer is running around here in the training mask, fire him. He's gonna hurt you. He don't know what he's doing. He's going to hurt you. That being said, and I hate to do this because it's ego, but I have to. Inside of this industry, we know this. Outside, y'all might not know. Just because somebody, now first, I'm not a personal trainer. That's entry level. I'm just not one. I started off as one, but I'm not one. I might work kind of in that environment, but I'm not one. I can go and work for any professional sports team on earth. I am not a personal trainer. That being said, not all personal trainers are made the same. Not all certifications are the same. There are some really good ones, a few. There are some really bad ones. Some that's just like, really, you're a trainer? Like, did you get that certification out of a Cracker Jack box? It's ridiculous. But that just goes to buyer beware. Do your research as a consumer, and make sure that the person that you are paying, even though it might seem small to say personal trainer, this person is a healthcare provider, all right? And they're doing things and telling you to do things that could hurt you. You know, if your trainer is walking around and their knees hurt, fire them, because your knees are going to be hurting. Because clearly they don't know what they're doing, or their knees wouldn't be hurting. And it upsets me so much, because I care about your health. So when I see people doing things that could make you follow the stupidity, just the outright ignorance of it, it really bugs me. And this is a video that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to do, because I didn't want to come off as attacking any person, and I'm not attacking any person, but I am attacking your ignorance. I am attacking that. Use some common sense. Pick up a book. Do some research. You're walking around exercising with a freaking gas mask on. Get it together, y'all. I'm Coach Mike. Until next time.